Good day and welcome to Manny's Makings. Today we're going to do this is a native inspired piece. I'm Aboriginal, so I like to make the sort of traditional seed bead stuff, but I thought let's play with some wire and see what we can come up with. So this is one half. We're going to make the other half of the sort of modern inspired, but I also want to show you another similar piece. So this is another one that I did with wire and the same sort of thing, same colors, just done on a round. So let's see if we can get this to focus for you so you can see. So anyways, I want to show you how to make these sort of simple earrings. They're fun. You can use whatever colors you want. I like the sort of more modern, it's just something different than the traditional. So what you're going to need today is a bunch of different things. So you're going to need your basic tools that we do for all videos, which is your flush cutters, your round nose pliers for sure, chain nose pliers, bent chain nose pliers, wire straighteners. Those are the basics that we always use, always. You're going to need some chain today, in your choice, whatever you'd like. So I'm just using some bead landing chain. It's just a really fine gauged basic chain. So you're going to need some jump rings, and the only thing you have to worry about with these jump rings is that they have to fit through the holes of the chain. So if you have a really big chain or like a roller chain or something like that, you should be able to fit bigger size jump rings, but that's what I can fit through. You're going to need an assortment of seed beads. So I'm going to use the base wire, this hanging wire. It's going to be 18 gauge, and that way I know it's sturdy, it's not going to bend easily. I mean, if you yank on it, you can bend it, but the whole point is that you usually don't yank on earrings. And if you do, then you know the consequences. So for any earrings. So anyways, I need beads that fit over this, and the only ones that fit over that, and not all of them do, but these ones here are 8/0s. So you need 8/0s in your choice of colors, and then I've got a bunch of 11/0s out. I've got some red and some black and some turquoise and some silver and some white, and I'm probably going to need a little bit more white. You need an ear finding of some sort, and let's get started. So let me see how big this ended up being, because I played with it. I need my ruler. Okay, let's see. I always go to the centimeter side. So this is 1.5 inches. So we end up with 1.5 inches of a piece of wire to do this here, and it may be a little long because I did a little trimming on this one. So we're going to start with that. So let's zoom in, and we'll try not to go too crazy with the zoom in today, so we can see, but I can breathe. That would be good. Okay, so we're just going to make your basic round loop on the one side, and because we're going to be using jump rings, we can close this all the way because the jump rings are going to go inside there. And I always like to take this just past the breaking point there. Sorry, you need head pins too. And you're going to need a good, I think this is a 2-inch head pin. You need 2 or 3-inch head pins. Yeah, these are 2-inch head pins. So you're going to need at least 2-inch head pins. As many as you want dangle. So if I have 5 here, so I would need 10 head pins. Okay, so these are just basic, T-pins. Okay, so I got a bunch of those. All right, so this is how I work, and I wanted you to sort of see how I work. Everything's sort of spread out everywhere. I use this pin to figure out how long I needed the chain to be, because I didn't want them to hang down like to my knees. So this one, the chain, basically I spread the chain long enough to go across here, and then a few extra links so it would come up nice in the middle. I had to find a chain that, so I literally have, I'm gonna move the camera, so if you get motion sickness, sorry. But I want you to see this. So this is there's my wire, there's my thing that I made the rounds around, there's some of my beads hanging out over there. So I have stuff spread all over the place around me. So I just want you to see that that's sort of how I work, with stuff spread everywhere, and it's kind of crazy, but it's lots of fun. So let me just try to straighten this out a bit more here. Okay, I've got a shadow because of this one, so let me move that a bit. That's still going to be shadow, but less. Okay, so you need to figure out how wide you want this to be. You can make them really wide, more boho-y. You could make them sort of a semicircle. So start with the size of wire you need, but this in my case is 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to put beads on. So I put 2 black beads. So the deal with the beads is, the deal with the beads is that they got to move freely. So if I take it and go like this and go like that, it'll slide. See how it slides on its own? If it doesn't slide freely, then it's going to cause problems later on. So 2 of the black ones, 1 red one, and 1 white one, and 2 white ones. Now I can tell that those are really different sizes. So yeah, these are wampum beads that I get from my local reservation. So they're not always the same as far as, you know, they're not perfect like Preciosa or Tohos or Delicas. So you can use any kinds of beads you want. But, okay, so there's the 2 of them. I'm just trying to keep them all around the same size. Get in there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now I know that's too skinny. Yeah, that's okay. 2. Okay, so I have the same amount put on here, and I want some space because I got to put those pieces of wire in behind. So let me just move this out of the way so we have a little bit of a clear spot so you can see where I'm working. So again, like when I'm making chain, I'm going to make the loop going the same way as this one, and then I'm going to, so I'm putting my P out away from my belly, and I'm doing this one the same way. Okay, so let's check on making sure they're both level. Let's take a look at the other one. I should have left it where it was. Ah! Beads everywhere. Beads on the loose. Heading to their favorite place, the floor. Okay, so I'm checking, and they are dang close. A little bit longer, just a smidge. So let me just tweak this up just a smidge, because I didn't take it past center, and I should be good. Okay, so I have the right length, I have the bead secured, I'm good. There, now I like to put the chain on next. You don't have to, let's do it without it. We'll do it the other way. So you take your head pins, and I'm going to move this little bead mat around, and as you can see I hit my beads and they're everywhere. So let me move this where you can see it. So I picked up a silver bead, and these silver beads are the same situation. Well, so I'm just trying to find one that fits on here. And when you're digging up silver beads and you're trying to I put my pin almost upright into it, and if it'll stick into it pretty easily, then I'm good. So there's 1. I need 4 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 red. That's a really skinny red. Holy moly. So I call that out. 2. That's a skinny one too. I must have. Yep. I pulled in my yucky stuff, bounced in with my good stuff. Okay. There's 4. So I've got 4 black, 2 red. Now I got to put 4 turquoise. Move those over so you can see them. 1, 2. See how that big fat one there? Yeet. Those ones bounced into my pile. 2. Now these are Mayukis, so those are nice and uniform. 4 of those, and then I start with my white. So my first pile of white is 5. So I got 1. Okay, so I want you to see this. I could sort of get that on there, but see how I can't push it on there all the way? That means it's too small. So it's not a bad bead for beading, for needlework, but so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 on the first one. 5, and then I got to find another silver bead. There's another silver bead. So I got 4, 2, 4, 5. And I always cap with a silver bead at the end, because when you put it up against, let me put this here, when you put this up against here, the silver bead sort of makes it sort of marries with the top, with the rounds that I'm doing. Okay, so now I need to trim this and turn it into a, so I'm just giving myself a little bit of space because it hangs better, it doesn't rub against the other beads. And then I'm sticking my finger in nice and tight so I can make a loop. Now this is a really sturdy, strong Probably a 20 gauge head pin. It's really heavy duty. These beads just fit on it, so I would say it's a 20 gauge head pin. And it's really tough. Like, to do a wrap with this is like, takes all my muscles and strength that I have. So I'm going to just cut it nice and short. Try not to have the beads fall off. Oh, that piece of wire went flying. Have to find that later with my feet. So then I'm just going to take my round nose and I'm pulling these beads down at the same time. And I'm making my little loop. So this is just a rosary loop. And it's not very straight or flat. Wow. Bad rosary loop. See, even people who've been doing this for a long time. And I've made a few today already, and my hands are warmed up, but it's just not being nice to me today. It's a little bit better. So I made a rosary loop. Better if it's centered. So let me just center this a bit. Pull the beads down. That's a little better. So it's kind of centered over top of the pin. You got them on the pin. Okay? So that's the first one. The second one is got the same up to the silver, and then I added 2 more beads and another silver. The next one has up to the silver, 4 beads and a silver. The next one has up to the silver is all the same, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads, and then a silver, because 5 is the maximum of white beads that I did in any given one. A silver, white, silver, because I needed 1 more. I'm adding by 2 every time on the white beads. So this is all the same, and then I did 5, 1, and then 3 instead of just 1, and then a silver. Okay, so go make these here for yourself, and then come back and I'll show you what to do with them now that you've got them to that point. Just a quick note I thought of as I was doing these is that, one, you need to make these loops big enough that they're going to fit freely over this wire so that they swing beautifully. So don't make these loops too tiny so that they don't like swing really freely. And number 2, you can only put as many beads in the pattern as your head pin will allow. If you want to start with the longest one first, that would be a good idea, then, because you have very little room left on the longest one, and I'll come back and show you that when I get to it, just so you can see, and that sort of determine my pattern going down. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and thank you for being patient. So I've gotten my 4 of them done, so they're right here. They're all ready to go. So just lining them up nice and neat like little soldiers. And then this is my last one, and this is my 2-inch head pin, and you can see that I have very little space left over. So if I had, I'm just going to move some of this stuff out so it focuses. If I had gone any more with the pattern, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So we're going to just bend this last one. So I'm just bending it fairly close, and as you can see, I have nothing to cut off. That's exactly the length that I need. So. And these are really stiff head pins, really stiff, like fight with all my might, stiff, which is great. Holy bad loop. One of the worst ones I've made in a long time. God. I think I need to get back to basics or something. What is going on? I may have to string that on a new head pin because I do not like the looks of that baby. And that's okay. If you don't like the looks of something, if you can't get it to tweak the way you like it, put it on a new head pin and start again. Sometimes things just want to misbehave, and this whole thing is not so great. Okay. Have the right amount of beads on there? Yeah. I think the head pin's just a smidge too long. Okay, I'm going to cut a smidge off. So what I do is I literally cut a smidge. And yeah, you can't see it. So I just cut a little tiny bit off. And I'm breaking its neck back because that's what the problem is its neck is not broken back so that it sits in the middle. Yay, I'm getting it there. Flatten the whole mess out. Okay, so there's the last one. So they're all ready to go. So I have all 5 of them, if I get them in order, all 5 ready to go, ready to be hung on the pins on the other piece. So I take the other piece. Now this is where it gets tricky, hence why I put on the chain, but we're going to try it without the chain. So we're going to put these on one at a time, and it's best to go from one end to the other. You need to figure out where you're going to put them. So obviously my middle one, which is this one here, it's going to go in the middle between these white beads. And then my smallest one is going to go right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nothing's going on the black. So there's going to be one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And when you set up this pattern, you need to figure out that you actually need an even number of beads on here so you can put an odd number of hangy bits. Okay? So we're going to start with the longest one. And all I do is open it like I would an earring finding, whatever. So I'm just taking it and tilting it up. The least amount you can do this, the better. Now this gets tricky. So I'm holding it like a little hook. Okay? The first couple aren't as bad. When it gets to the last one, it's really hard. And I'm going to just hook it on. I just hooked it on between the beads. And I'm going to flip it around, letting it just hang out. And now I have to close it. Haha! And with the wire, with the chain, I had something a little bit more to hold on to. So I'm flipping it around, so I'm holding on to the beads so they're out of the way, and I just have to take this and turn it so that it's where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to give it just a little snuggie, being careful not to break any beads. Yeah. A little snuggie to make sure it's closed. Okay, so I did something there. This is the side without the opening. The other side is the side with the opening. Okay? So that means from now on, I have to put them on the same way. That was my longest one, so there's my second longest one. So I'm going to open this. And this is where you wish you had 15 hands, but you don't. I'm going to hold on to that little thing, and then I'm going to, I'm holding the outside where there's no cut side here. So I have the same way. And I'm going to, and I put that one in the wrong place. Did anybody see that? Ah, silly girl. So 1, 2, this has got to go here. And holding the beads down and making this go where you want it. Priceless, I think that is the expression. So turning it over so I can see it, flipping it. Ah, see? It's fun. There we go. Putting it in the right spot. And yeah, it's the right way too. Holding it. There's probably a better way to do this. I usually put the chain on first so I can hold on to the chain, but so maybe that's a lesson learned. I always did it that way, never tried it this way, so I thought I'd try it this way. So now we get to take the other one off. Yay! Okay, this one's got to come off. So you get to see me make a mistake. I do it all the time. Believe me. Anybody who tells you they don't make mistakes is either a liar or they're doing the same thing over and over again, and it's doesn't, you know, there we go, hooked it on, and it's, I don't know, robotic now at this point. The hardest part is getting my pliers over this thing without, and I've cracked beads, believe me. Okay, so there's 2 on. Woohoo! 2, first 2. Next. So this is literally how I work. My beads, my bead board in front of me full of stuff, and sorry about the waving on my hands there. Yeah, this is how I work. Alright, where's the good side? That's the good side. Okay, take this. Set it up like a little hook, like I'm gonna gouge at something, right? Put it in the middle spot, turn it over, flip it so I can keep it where I can see it, get my pliers in there. I need to get some, oh, and look what I just did. that just broke. I'm going to need to restring that one. So that happens. That happens too. Get that little tiny piece of metal out of the way. Let's put the next one on. We'll leave that hole open. These are just head pins, so you can make your own head pins if you wanted. And I actually thought about that, was using my 20 gauge wire and pounding the bottoms rather than putting the silver on the bottom. But I didn't do it. Okay, so again, wrong side, that's the right side. Okay. And I know I didn't open that enough. Okay, I want you to see how much I opened that. Next to nothing. So I need to open that more. And again, I'm just like a jump ring, I'm just twisting it away from myself, taking it and twisting it, just like a jump ring. See how those beads want to climb right up? You gotta hold on to them, man. So I gotta skip one and go into this one. Flip it around. Put it in my hands this way. And pray. Turn it around. And whoops, don't hit the beads, and close it down a little bit. Okay, so I have to put the other one in there, and as you can see, it's getting pretty tight on here. There's not a lot of extra give on here, and that's kind of scary, because I'm gonna have to put that one in the middle last. You could hypothetically put a bead on, put this on, just string them on that way, and then curl this. That'd probably be a lot easier. Okay, yep, next time I'll do it that way. Do you get me what I was saying that would be easier? Make the one loop, make all of these, string it on just like a part of the string, instead of opening and closing every one of these suckers. And then closing that last loop, and you'd be good to go. So next time, do it that way. Don't do it the way I'm showing you. And, yeah. How do I put this? As you're doing things, what happens is you start to realize, sorry, I need to see which way this is, the good way or the bad way. Good way, good way, good way. Okay, got it back to where I need it. Okay, hook. As you do things like this, you're going to start to realize that there's easier ways of doing things, and I just had one of those moments. And I didn't even think about it. I don't know why I didn't think about it, because I know better. Okay, because I like to struggle. This is no good, so let's just cut this tip off. And I'm just going to cut it off close to the tip, and there's a reason for that. Because these are decent head pins, other than the fact that it just broke. I'm going to keep this now 1 and a bit head pin and put it over here in my 1 and a bit piles. You know that one single drop that you want to hang on something that you don't want to wire wrap, and you need that really short head pin, the one that's like 1 inch, and you don't want to buy them as 1 inch, and you don't want to waste 2 inches of a 3-inch head pin? That's those. And I know these beads fit, so it's just a matter of putting them on. 1, 2, 3, whoops. Come on, 4. Here's number 4. Get on there. I'm chasing beads. 4. 2 red. 4 green. 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Silver. Here. Get on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another silver. Okay, back to where I should have been. Grab this, put it in here, push against it. These are really tough head pins. Irk. Now I can see that this is way too long. I use my finger, and I sort of squish this against my finger, and that I've determined is pretty well the length I need for the tip of my pliers. You're going to figure out your own system as you go along. And I do have some questions for you afterwards, so stay tuned. Don't tune out of this video. Okay, let's see if I can get this one to come out better. Yay, first time! So that's not normally how they go. I don't know why the other ones are giving me such a hard time. Okay, open it. Like a little corkscrew piggy tail. Find the right side. Oh, you know what I didn't do? It's one of those days. I shouldn't be shooting videos today. Oh, I got lucky. I so got lucky. They have to be opposite each other. So the longest side of the longest side goes on closest to your ear, closest to your cheek. So I'm stucking that on, flipping it over. Yeah, I make sound effects all the time. Hopefully it helps. So I have a question for you. If I did a live video, a little nervous about doing that because I have no idea how to set all that up. But if I did a live video, let's see if my other pliers fit better. Would anybody come and see it? That's number one. So would you like me to do a live video? That's number one. And number two has to do more with other things that I make, and should I start including those types of videos in here? Okay, got them on. So I have the one set and the one set. See how they're opposite each other? Yay! Okay. Little things you got to think about. So I literally developed these this morning when I was playing around. Okay, jump rings. This chain is too small to fit over that wire, the gauge wire that I wanted to use for my base wire. And because of that, I have to use a jump ring. And you know how great I am at this. Not. Okay, feel with my nail. There's the opening. Part of that's because I'm old. Part of that's because I'm blind. Okay. Let's see if it's in focus. I am all over the place today. Sorry, guys. Must be the weather. We're getting springy-like weather, and it's raining and damp. And alright, stick the one end on. Woohoo! Stick the other one end of your thing on. Your earring that you made to this point, and close the dang jump ring. Till she's lovely and closed. This will flip upwards. There we go. Another jump ring. Grab this, you can jump ring. Get this out of the way so it focuses. You're actually hearing what goes on my brain that I don't normally say. It's like my filter's off today. I wonder what happened. I'm crazy. Okay. Open. Stick that other end. You know when you stick your tongue out of your mouth because you're trying to concentrate to get it to work right? That's what I'm doing. Okay. Come on, baby. Get in the loop. So I want you to see, actually, get out of the loop. See how I took the chain the length of this plus a few more loops, but nothing major. I didn't want this hanging down to my ankles, so. And with the piece dangles that are there, some people like really long, and I don't like really long earrings. Okay, so I have the chain, I have this. Now, the only thing I have to make sure now I do is put this on the right way. So these particular ear findings are really simple. I like them because of that. I just crack it open, like always. And I'm going to hold it the way that I want it to go on, because in this case, when I put the chain on, it's going to go there. And I have to find the middle. So I literally have to count the chains. So let's see if I can count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on a second, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to put it in the 10th one. There it is. Okay, found the 10th one. The 10th one is between my fingers. So I'm going to put that in there. Squiggle it around till I get it in. Come on. That's probably a better way to do this. And all of you super professionals out there probably know what it is, but I don't. See, the thing is if I do it this way, I can't use my pliers because my pliers will block enough of the opening that I can't get this through. So just so you know, and I already know that because I tried. This is a really tiny, you know what? Duh. Put it in from the other side. What you just do? I gotta count again. Or I can just do this and make sure that it looks right. There's number 10. Okay, I'm sticking it in backwards. There's nothing here to stop me from doing that. I don't know why I didn't. Now I gotta make sure I got it hanging right though. Oh, what's going on there? Okay. Nope. Of course. Why would I put it on the right the first way? There we go. So that's why I probably didn't do it that way. So I gotta go from back to front instead of front to back. I think that's... I'll figure it out. I'll be back in a second. Basically get your ear wire in the middle one. Oh, and the chain links, if you can do it, do an odd count. Use the pin. That's what I was going to show you. So let me show you that first. So I got a piece of chain. And if you want two sizes the same, once you determine what size you want the one, I just stick my pin in it, right? And let's say I want the one and I cut it off at that length. So I have a piece of scrap chain here. Okay, so I got the one piece of chain here. See if you can see it hanging. Okay. Get that out of the way. Take the other piece of chain, stick it over top of the pin too, or an I pin or T pin or whatever you want. And see how you can sort of see what length they are? When they're actually hanging, you can't see them hanging because of the angle of my camera. But when they're hanging, you can see which loop's the last loop, as long as you make sure the top stays level. And then you cut it with your cutters just past that last loop. You want to leave the same amount of loops on. And then you find the middle and go from there. So that's how you cut your chain to be equal. I'll be right back when I get that silly hook on. Yay, conquered the hook. Okay. And all of you know, if you watch my videos, I have visual problems, so that one I had to bring out the big magnifying glass. Alright, so I have the one here and one here. And they hang opposite each other so that the longest ones are... Wow. So there's my earrings. Let me back out. Oh, wrong way. Yay! Okay. So there's my earrings there. Let me put them down on the board so you can see them better. It's kind of fun, huh? So, what I wanted to ask you guys, and I would love your comments. Please, please comment. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks till everybody's had a chance to comment, and then I'm going to proceed one way or the other. So I make all kinds of things. I do a lot of beadwork. I spend hours doing beadwork. I don't just do wire wrapping. So this is one of my beaded bracelets with a, it's got actually a snap in here, and it's like a little belt piece that I've done. I do loom work, which is lots of fun. Here, show you some more of my, this is one I just made yesterday. That's a pile of fun. It's a bracelet that looks like a crazy quilt or whatever you want to call it. Here's another piece that I did recently. I'm just playing around with some fire polished. I do peyote with a twist. I flattened this one, made it a bracelet. It's a flat bracelet with peyote with a twist. And this is what done with 15 count beads, 15-0. Here's a necklace done with peyote with a twist. That is my own sort of pattern and design. So, it's, got the findings, it's all completed. Let's see, what else do I have here? Here's another woven piece. So, and this one has, again, I love snaps. I don't know why people don't use them. They make it so easy to put them on, and they make a seamless bracelet. So I do that as well. So there's lots of different things, and give you an example of where I put them together. Here's a pair of earrings I made. Let me move some of these out. These ones here, these little tiny green ones, I'm going to wear them for St. Patty's Day. But they have Swarovski crystals and rondelles, crystal rondelles, and little fire polished. This is a 2mm fire polished. This is actually Delica peyote done. But I put the wire in first so that it actually, I could take the wires and use them to wrap and make the top. So here's the other one. So they're a cute little pair of earrings. But this is beadwork like traditional beadwork combined with wire work. I don't know if you guys want to see that or not. Do you want to learn how to do that? Or do you want to learn how to do some of the traditional native beadwork that I do? You know, stuff like this. This is not brick stitch. I'll remember in a second. This one here is peyote. Patterned peyote. Loom work. Not brick stitch. Because brick stitch is what I do on the edges often. I know what it is, I just don't know what it's called. I have to think about it. So this one has all three. This has a 3-count peyote in it. This has brick stitch, and it has the other stitch on the ends here. So, you know, there's lots of options. So just so you can see, this is a lot wider bracelet. Let me see if I can make some space here. So that's how this one goes. And it's fun with a pair of jeans. If you want to see me do some of this and learn how I do this stuff, there's so many people out there that do seed bead work and native beading work. Not so much, but I can definitely do more traditional native beading work. This is non-traditional. Let me know. And if you like these types of videos, you want to see more of these videos, if you're learning something from me, please like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys, love teaching you everything I have. I don't have a lot of people in my life that I can pass that information along to. So let me just open this up and show you this. This has a little pointed end that you stick through the little loop that's like a little belt loop that I made in the end, and it just sticks through. You pull it through. Yeah. And close it. So please like, share, and subscribe if you like these. Comment. I need to know what you guys want me to do. If you want me to stay with the traditional wire working, wire weaving, if that's more important to you. Or if you want me to just do what I love, which is a combination of all of the above. Let me know. And in 2 weeks, I'll take a consensus of what people have said, and I'll go from there. I also want to thank all of you for... I'm all 68 subscribers, 67 subscribers. I'm amazed. I am so happy. And we're growing and growing. I'm thinking of doing a wonderful giveaway when we hit the 100 mark. I'm going to give somebody one of these pieces of jewelry for free. So, yeah. Let me know what you think, and keep on making from Annie's Makings, and have a great day.